What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your friendly neighborhood DJFG CJ here, and we're back with another Ark Insight video. And today we are looking at what kind of turret does the most amount of damage. Now, as you can see here, we've got a boulder catapult. We've got a catapult here, a ballista, and we also have a cannon. That's right, cannon. Everyone loves cannons. Alrighty, so today what we're going to be doing is we've got training dummies set up. You can see there and there. And we've got structures set up, metal, stone, as well as wood. We've forgotten about thatch because no one really builds with thatch in an official server. So without further ado, we are going to get the testing underway. So we've got our ballista here, we've got our cannon and our catapult, and a stone structure. So what we're going to do quickly is we're just going to grab some cannonballs for us. So we can, there we go, it should be enough. Alrighty, and now you can see up here, this one doesn't actually have the metal foundation one doesn't have a cannon set up on it. It's because I only built 2 cannons, unfortunately, so I made a bit of a boo-boo there. So what we're going to do is once we've tested it, once we've tested the wood one, we are going to replace the wooden with metal, and we are going to blow that up with the cannon and the ballista and the catapult. No, just the cannon, sorry. Alrighty, so we can see here we've got a stone wall in front of us, 10,000 health, foundations on 15,000 health. You know, we've got, these are all surrounded, these are all done. So what we're going to do is we are going to blow it up. Alright, so first test, cue cannon fire, boom. Okay, so obviously the cannon is going to do the most amount of damage between the three, but what we will be looking at in this video is actually the difference in between damage that the three of them do. So obviously the cannon's the strongest, and it's probably the boulder catapult and the ballista bolt. Okay, that was distracting. But we're going to see exactly how much. Alright, so we see there, that's done quite a bit of damage. It didn't do any splash damage though by the looks of it. It hit the foundation and these 2 walls. So we can see there it only mainly hit this one, which is weird. Because yeah, so it does a bit of splash damage, but not too much. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to punch in the data and we're going to see how much damage this actually did. Okay, so now that we have figured out how much damage it does to the wall, we are now going to look at actually how much DPS it does. So you can see there we've got a training dummy set up, so we're just going to turn the cannon ever so slightly to the right. One more we can go, yeah. That looks good. And we're going to go down. Down. And is that lined up? Let's take a look. Looking down the barrel of a cannon, that doesn't seem safe. Okay, that's lined up. So we're going to chuck this in, give it a cannonball, obviously, otherwise we won't be able to fire it. Alright, we're going to take a look at how much damage it does to the training dummy. Here we go. Alright, and fire. Okay, so you saw there it did 70,000, so about 87,000 damage. But it's coming up saying 17,000 DPS, which I don't think is very accurate because you've just done 87,000 damage in one single strike. And, you know, you can't really fire it that fast. So we're going to stick with 80,000 DPS. Alright, catapult turret. So these 2 walls aren't damaged as you can see here, but we are aware of how much these are on. So we're going to jump on the catapult if we can get to it. Here we go, catapult. And we're going to launch some boulders at this stone wall. And you know what I think we forgot? I think we forgot ammo. Let's double check that. Yeah, we forgot ammo. And we've got our ammo, and here is our first test. Okay, so we've just launched our first boulder at it. Let's go take a look at the damage. So, no splash damage. Absolutely no splash damage. And it has done 700 damage to the stone wall. So we've managed to do 700 damage. And now we're going to go test it on the training dummy. If we can get on our catapult. There we go. Alright, so there's the training dummy there. So we're going to launch it right at it. So we're going to keep firing because we've got the capacity to. We're going to look at how much damage he actually does. Alright, so the catapult does 6,300 DPS, pretty much. So now we're going to look at the ballista. Alrighty, and we're now going to jump on the ballista. As you can see, the stone wall is on 10,000 health. And we're going to see how much damage the ballista actually does to stone walls. Alright, we're going to launch 2 arrows at it and see what we get. If anything at all, it doesn't look like it's damaged. Okay, so 9,580. So now we're going to jump on the top one and just fire 1. Let's take a look at how much damage that's done. Alright, so that did about, what, 210 damage? So about 210 damage to a stone wall. I mean, it's not bad considering you can just keep firing volleys of these guys. And they're relatively easy, cheap to make. I mean, you need metal and wood and fiber. I'm pretty sure that's most of it. So, you know, but I'm pretty sure you're better off going with the catapult. All right, now we're going to check its DPS against the training dummy. All right, here we go. So we're just going to keep firing. So you can see there's a huge difference in between the catapult, the ballista, and the cannon. So 210 damage pretty much. Yeah, that's our DPS. All right, now we're going to jump over onto the wood and take a look at the wood. Okay, and we're on the wooden structures. As you can see, everything is on 10,000 health. We're just going to quickly eat something here before we die. Jokes, we don't have anything to eat. We have some seeds. We're going to eat those seeds very quickly because we are dying of starvation. And that would be kind of awkward if we just died halfway through the video. Alrighty, so we are now on the boulder catapult. The boulder catapult, obviously. And we're going to launch a rock at the wall. Oh, wow, okay. Well, there's your damage for you. Easily did 10,000 damage to wooden structures. So that just absolutely, I honestly was not expecting that. That just absolutely demolished it. All right, so we can see here that the cannon is pretty much going to absolutely wreck the wooden walls. If the catapult's wrecking it, then I'm pretty sure that it's not going to stand a chance against the cannon. All right, here we go. Yeah, demolished once again. Okay, so it even hit the foundation behind it. Oh wow, it hit both foundations. Oh wow, okay, so it's hit all of it. So can we actually see how much? So it did about 2,000, about 1,800, 1,200 splash damage and 10,000 regular, like straight on damage. So that's not bad. That's pretty bloody good, if you ask me. However, I think the cannon's probably going to win this category. All right, so what we're going to do, we're just going to quickly knock these walls down and put new ones up. Okay, so we've replaced the walls and we've also been robbed by Pegomastics, so that was fun. Alright, so you can see they're on 10,000 health. Now we're going to jump on the ballista and we're going to test the ballista against the wood. Alright, here we go. So we're going to aim for the bottom wall. We'll aim a little bit up. Okay, so let's take a look now. Okay, so I think we've hit the floor, so we're going to aim for the top one by mistake. Whoopsie daisy. Alright, can we get back on? Thank you. Alright, let's aim for that top wall. Alright, there we go. So we've hit this top wall square on. So, okay, wow. So it still only does 210 damage to wood, which is strange. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting it to do more. Because the catapult, the boulder catapult did less damage to the stone wall. It did what? How much did it do? About what? 700 damage. But it did 10,000 damage to the wooden walls, which is strange. Alright, anyway, we're going to jump onto the metal now. So here we have the metal. We're going to jump on our catapult turret. We're going to launch it at the top wall, see how we go. Alright, so we just launched that there. Let's take a look-see. Okay, so that did nothing to it. No damage whatsoever. Let's just launch a few more at it. See if we're going to aim a little bit more down now. See if that does anything to it. Let's take a look, shall we? Okay, so the catapult's doing absolutely nothing to metal structures. Let's take a look at the ballista. If the catapult's doing nothing, I doubt the ballista will be doing anything. Alright, let's take a look, shall we? Once again, nothing. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to replace these wooden structures here with us into metal. So we can test the cannon here because we don't have a cannon here. Alrighty, and we've replaced it all with metal except for that one wall in there which we just noticed. Okay. Right, there we go. Alright, so it's all metal. So we're going to take a look at how much damage the cannon does. It's on 10,000 health, you can see there. And here we go, let's fire. Alright, so, alright. Not too bad. So what, 9,645. So it did about 365 damage, which, sorry, 355 damage, which isn't too bad for a cannon. Although you're probably better off going with the C4 or RPGs to use for raiding metal because the cannon still, the cost of the cannonballs and the cannon itself isn't worth using to get into metal. Okay guys, so now what we're going to do is we're going to show you, I'm going to put up a picture of all the damage done to each of the structures and what weapon did that damage, so you guys can take a look. Here it is. Alrighty guys, so that'll be it for today. Hopefully you guys, okay, that was an extremely close zoom up on my face, that was scary. Okay, and now we can't magnify it out. Can we, there we go. Let's just back up a little bit, there we go. Whew, alright, that was scary. Alrighty guys, so that'll be it for today. Hopefully you guys found something, and I'll catch you in the next Ark Inside video.